Welcome to the birthday edition of Spiritual Sessions
Live
with
Debbie Creagh and
Norwood Young. Hey everybody, welcome
Hey.
to this wonderful special edition because it's my birthday.
Ooh.
Well, actually it was on Wednesday, August the 28th, but it was amazing. It was amazing. So actually on Wednesday, we had a little impromptu get together because I performed here in Bangkok on the rooftop of the 78th floor, which is the highest building in all of Asia, actually. And Debbie sings background and solo on my show. So we started out there, and another dear friend of ours came by, and we decided we would go to one place, and we hung out there for about an hour. And then I realized and remembered there was another place that we hadn't been to in a long time. I said, well, let's just go over there, impromptu. So we're now at 11:30. We were at that place from 11:30 to maybe 4, and the drinks were coming and coming and coming and
Coming.
coming.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then, okay, so that was Wednesday, fine. Thursday was rest day. Friday comes, I open my mouth and what comes out?
Nothing.
I had come down with laryngitis. So I called Debbie up on the phone and said, Deb, we're gonna find me a hospital quick. I need a cortisone shot. I need a steroid shot quick, pronto. So we go, we had the steroid shot, so we get to the show, which is another place, on Friday. So early Friday, Deb says to me, hey, Norwood, can you make yourself free Saturday, 7:30, something. Okay. I get to the place, we meet up, she blindfolds me. Now then you tell the rest.
Well, I blindfolded him and I brought him to his favorite vegan restaurant with a group of his friends there with all these balloons, and everyone in the restaurant applauded him and said surprise, not just the friends there. And then we went somewhere else again, didn't we?
Right, we sure did, till another 4 in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
So listen, I love my balloons so much for my bestie that I took them all the way throughout all Bangkok looking straight crazy, and I had to bring them so you all could see them tonight. So I said all that to say this. Deborah Creagh is not a good influence. Spiritual sister, yes. Good influence.
Spiritual sister in more ways than one.
Why?
Because there's spirits involved that were not the ones floating around. They were in your glass.
You know what? That was good. That was good. And true too. But listen, you guys can come along with us or not in what I'm about to say. But you know who was with us on the second night? Asia. Mm-hmm. Hi, Asia.
Hi, Asia.
Asia. Asia's my other spiritual sister, and Deborah's as well. So Asia was a culprit on Saturday night.
Yep.
So here's the deal. Those watching, if you have a need in your life to do what we're about to do, please join us. Asia, I will speak for you and ask you to please join us, because for the next 30 days or so, we will be having a dry month. Mm-hmm. Dry month meaning no spirits.
No spirits.
Well, spirits.
Not in the glass.
Well, not liquid spirits.
Yeah, not liquid spirits.
No spirits. No liquor. So that's what we're gonna do, right?
Yeah.
So do we need to manifest this? So we just manifested no liquor. For 1 month, we manifested no liquor, right? So, hi Debbie. Linda says
hi. Linda. Hi.
What am I, chopped-liver Linda? You don't want to say hi to me too? What the hell? Anyway, what I think we should probably do is just recap our backgrounds, just so people know where we come from, and that we're just not two crazy people speaking.
Yeah.
So talk about you.
Talk about me.
Talk about you, girl.
So I'm Debbie. I come from Ireland. I live in Bangkok. I'm a psychic medium, a hypnotherapist, and an energy healer. And I sing as well.
That's not enough. That's like so general. Be specific. Like, when you start seeing the ghost and the stuff. When did that happen?
Okay. All right. Okay. Well, that's specific. Well, people ask me all the time when was the first time that I knew I was psychic.
Okay.
I don't remember when I wasn't. So I remember being in my cot as a young child and seeing spirits in my room, and obviously being fearful because no one else in my family was talking about it or experiencing it. So yeah, it was a lot of hiding under the covers. And then as I went through life, I kind of kept trying to pretend it wasn't there. But it wasn't until I was in my early 20s that I was in a house, and I was actually house minding. And in those days in Ireland, if you went away for a period of time, people would watch your house and come in and rob it. So you would always get someone to come and house watch. And it was this big Edwardian house. And I was taking care of it for the weekend. So I had all the food I wanted, watched all the movies, the DVDs at the time. And I go to bed and I fall asleep. And at some point in the middle of the night, I woke up suddenly and there was a man standing over me. And I freaked out, as you do. And I closed my eyes. I opened my eyes. I opened my eyes and there was no one there, but I could feel someone there. So I turned the lights on and stayed awake most of the night until the morning, and then fell asleep. When the family came back, I asked them if there was a spirit in their house, because you should tell me if I want to take care of it. And I thought they would think I was crazy, because in those days I didn't really talk about these things, but I needed to know because I saw this man leaning over me. And the man of the house told me that the night that I stayed, some people were breaking into the house. They had broken into the shed, they had stolen some things, they had broken the lock on the door, they were about to enter the house, and they saw the light go on upstairs, and the neighbors were watching, so that's how I knew. And the light going on scared the robbers away. So then I thought, well, hang on, this ghost actually saved my life. This spirit actually came and warned me. So I kind of decided to stop being fearful of it all the time and run from it and try to understand it more.
Okay.
So I understand the people out there that are fearful talking about those things, or having those things around. But I was the same as everybody else. I was scared of it until I started learning to understand it.
Okay.
So then I kind of spent my life trying to understand why I can see things and how to develop it that's actually beneficial to other people.
Right.
So that's what I do, And it brings a lot of joy to people and a lot of relief to people.
Right.
Yeah. And what about you and your background?
My background is very different. I grew up in America, and I grew up in various denominations of churches, from Catholic to Baptist to Pentecostal. So in those arenas, predominantly, if you believed in the supernatural world was a sin or ungodly or demonic. However, after a certain age, when things start to happen that just happen, you start to question that, and then I believe the way I believe now. However, where my experiences now, I attribute to growing psychic abilities and growing psychic consciousness. Back in the day, I would call that voodoo shit.
You still do.
Whatever you come up with, that house story, that's some voodoo shit. I don't care. So my walk is definitely stems from not growing up with it and not having the experiences as a child that I knew. Now, when I go back in hindsight and think about things, I do know now that those were experiences that I was having. But because I was having the contradiction of the religion and organized religion, you browbeat yourself into believing, okay, that can't be true. That can't be true.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So now, and we'll talk about it, I guess, a little bit later, is being able to, without any guilt, embrace when things happen. Because they do.
Yeah, all the time, every day.
Can I share something with you?
Yeah.
Okay. Sally, say hi to the people. This is Sally, our producer. Say hi, Sally.
Hi.
Yeah. So, last night it rained profusely. Sally, I didn't even tell you this. So last night it rained profusely. Happened to look out on my balcony. I'm on the 36th floor of this condo building. And I look out on my balcony and I see this shirt, fabric, something that was olive and green striped, right? Olive and light green striped. I go, So I thought, because I have relative accidents with the laundry sometimes when I put bleach and stuff that I shouldn't, whatever. So, I thought maybe this was an accidental garment, to say the least. So I just let it sit there for a minute. And then because I figured it's got to be soaking wet because it rained from the night before. So about 20 minutes later, Spirit, now stop saying something. Spirit said, go back out there and get that fabric. Well, I did. Guess what it is, Sally? Though? There is a woman's shirt that was bone dry out on my balcony. And ever since I met you, this booby shit has been happening. Ever since I met you, stuff.
This is crazy, on the 36th floor.
36th floor, dry though. It's wet, right? That's crazy.
Mm-hmm. And there's no balcony that can fly from on your side.
What? On the
36th floor, really?
And dry. It was rain. Do you remember how bad it rained last night?
Yeah.
Dry. It was dry. And then the next thing, Sally, you probably where it is.
God.
But
Thank you.
I don't know what listen to this then real fast, and then we'll move forward.
Mm-hmm.
If you remember last week, when I filled up the sink with the bleach and the water, right? And then when we came back, the sink was empty, although the plunger was in it, right? The sink was empty, but the water and the bleach had obviously gone onto the brown rug that never bleached. There's something with water and drying it.
Yeah. You've got some laundry spirit.
But I never had a laundry spirit before I connected with you, lady. I was going on my journey, figuring things out by myself, and ever since I met Debbie Creagh, stuff has been accelerated. Cheese and crackers.
Cheese and crackers.
Cheese and crackers.
Wine.
Phew. So, tell me, have you had anything that's happened to you this week? Feathers falling?
Actually, I had some weird experiences straight after our show last week, guys. We were very excited and but tired, and I got a motorbike home and I got a Grab taxi home. And the Grab taxi was speaking in this perfect English. And I said to him, wow, your English is unbelievable. Where did you learn? He said, Egypt. And I thought, Egypt? And I have a very strong connection with Egypt and Egyptian things. Anyone out there that knows me in Egypt. So it's very symbolic for me when I hear about Egypt. So I thought, okay, interesting. So he started chatting to me, and then he said to me, you're going to have a lot of positive things come to you. Your name is very powerful. And I thought, how the hell does he know my name? Because I forgot it's a Grab taxi. So he said, Miss Debbie, you don't understand.
Oh, wait, stop. How do you know your name? Oh, because your name is in the app.
Because it's in the app.
See,
But I got a bit freaked out.
I know. I would have jumped out the car. I wouldn't have no time to figure it out. I've been gone.
So then I said to him, okay, my name is very powerful. Okay, I've got a bit of a loony here. And he said, no, really, amazing things. There's a powerful year coming for you. So I said, okay, maybe he learned something in Egypt and he's trying to, there's a numerical thing to my name or something. So I said, do you mind me asking why you're saying that to me? He said, I just feel it. This is a Thai motorbike guy. I just feel it. And then I got off the bike and he said, I can't charge you. Enjoy the rest of your year. He wouldn't charge me any money.
Wow.
Those kind of things don't happen here, so that was very strange. I said, okay, thank you so much. So that was quite bizarre.
But here's the deal. When those things actually do occur, and it probably happens to most of us, because of the fact that we are just innately people who doubt things like that. It's just your natural way of thinking. I think that people should just embrace them.
Yeah.
Embrace them, experience them, and possibly do some research. You know what I mean? As to the occurrences.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, for me, it was just a very nice confirmation that I'm on the right track. As we talked last week about being in alignment and spirit and universe.
Yeah, but see, that's the yin and yang between the two of us. You were born into it. You know what I'm saying? So your immediate thought would be to accept it. You're in alignment. For persons like me or who are not as even involved as me, though, what the hell just happened? What was that about? Like the green thing, I'm like, no, what the, you'll say, oh yes, we're aligned. And everything is beautiful.
Well, I wasn't always like that.
But yeah, but you know, you learn to accept it. But from like you just said, as a child, you knew something. You know what I'm saying? We have imaginary friends. You know that they're real. Our parents always had imaginary friends, so it's a different situation. So in this realm, I would say you're the expert of explanations as to when and why and how. Me, I still freak out a little bit and call you up and say, why the hell is there a feather on my floor? So telling me where this feather came from and what the hell is going on. So it's great to have someone who can analyze it for me. But what's also great is that you have to have an open mind and accept the fact that those things are real.
Yeah.
And it's not knocking anyone else's belief system, not knocking their religion. And that's what we were talking about last week, is that spiritual sessions is about dialogue and conversation about what is. That, you know, like for instance in the Bible and the dictionary, faith, the word faith. Faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things unseen, which means nobody knows. You know what I'm saying? Nobody knows. So whatever works for you works for you. But don't knock my belief because they're working for me. And I believe in energy and spirit and light and doing unto others and karma, you know. And I don't believe in the Virgin Mary. You see what I'm saying? I don't believe in the Virgin Mary. However, if that works for you, you and Mary kick it. Y'all get the thing. Y'all get down. I'm not gonna knock you and Mary. Y'all that's your thing. You see what I'm saying? And whatever your beliefs are, that's what they are. But there's no and my thing is, as long as whatever we believe, the end result is us all living in peace.
Absolutely.
The end result is us all treating each other equally. I wouldn't give a rat's ass what you do. You know? As long as it doesn't involve the pentagram and some black candles.
Have you had some cool stuff happen this week as well?
The damn shirt on the balcony. It don't get no cooler than that. I was like, okay. And I was trying to, remember I called you. I said, I'm on the 36th floor. How in the hell did a dry woman's blouse end up on my balcony? That's you know. And you know what's really weird is that when we were discussing, I said that would be great if we had experiences to share.
Yeah.
If things would occur. And I said, well, nothing happened to me this week, but something might. And sure enough, when I woke up this morning, I was out there. Crazy, right?
One of the things that was interesting that came up this week for me is you and I both see how quickly we manifest things because we're always really positive. We're watching the signs. And I had someone tell me today, oh, I just talked to this person and they said there's no way that manifestation can happen that quickly. Manifestation takes time. We just talked on the phone today about something and I said, we'll put it in the universe.
My drummer. My drummer.
Put the drummer in the universe, and I said, I put it out there that before this Friday you will have your new drummer. What did you just say? 15
minutes before the show aired, I got a text saying, we got a drummer.
It can happen instantly, or it can happen the same day or the same week. It does not have to take time.
And the way this thing works is your level of belief.
Exactly.
It's your level of belief, and commitment to belief is the way this thing works. And it's so powerful because the power is within yourself. You are solely responsible for your destiny in this thing called life. Totally. Yeah. Totally. And it's about, that's a whole nother show. But we gotta do a show on minding your business.
Yeah, absolutely.
Gotta do a show on minding your business.
Yeah, absolutely. Because
that's the way it goes. So real quickly, before we go into our challenge and the whole thing, let's talk really quickly about prayer and meditation. I'll give my thing first, and you're long-winded, so you can do that. She'll be here till next Sunday telling y'all. But anyway, so I'll use my mother as an example because I was just telling her about the power of meditation, and because I grew up in church and this, that, and the other, prayer has been something that has always been there. It is something that is still there that I do daily, and sometimes 2 or 3 times daily, just for different thoughts. And my mother said to me, I have such a problem meditating, it's driving me crazy because I keep hearing things and I just can't calm down. The trick is, don't ignore it.
Mm-hmm.
Just sit there. Just sit there and let those things be. And when they're done running their course, they will. You either pass the hell out because you'll fall asleep, or before you know it, you'll be meditating. So the difference between prayer and meditation is this, really simply. Prayer is when you're asking for something. Meditation is when you're still and you receive it. Real simple. Real simple.
Mm-hmm.
And you said something the other day that was really smart. And you tell the people about how you stare at them when you visit them.
Oh, okay.
That's great. This
Okay.
is great. This is good. This is good. This is good. This is good.
We had this conversation the last day about, I don't know how it came up, about there's this new age thing that there's so many different kinds of meditations out there, and people having to go on all these courses and learn how to meditate. Guided this. Now, I've written a course. It took me a year, a guided meditation course, but this course has been specially designed to bring things to the surface, so when I'm there, I help to coach and heal that particular thing with the person, so they can pass through that and use these meditations as tools daily when things come up that they need to heal. So it's not necessarily for relaxation, although it does help with insomnia.
Could you just tell us the easy way that you came to meditate,
So listen,
please?
so if I've written
Jeez.
So, however, when I have clients that tell me they have problems with meditation, I say keep it simple. So here's a really simple technique for some of you out there who do not know how to meditate and find it difficult to pray because their mind is going all the time. Just get yourself a little night light, you know, the little night lights in the silver little tin, and light it and stare at this night light for about 5-10 minutes. When you close your eyes, you will be able to see the flame of the night light still, because your eyes will record the memory of that flame. So you just close your eyes and you keep visualizing the flame in your eyes, in your mind's eye.
Okay, that's from the expert, y'all. Listen.
5-10 minutes, and it's so easy.
All right, so try her way. Try her way. Okay. Listen, just find a light bulb. Just find a light bulb, any light, anywhere in the room, and just stare at that sucker. Just stare. And just be quiet. Just stare at the light. Just stare at the light. Give me 10 seconds, Sally. Give me 10. Count 10. I meditated, damn it. 10, did not? In stillness.
A light or a candle?
A light, a candle, something. Just
It's
stare at it
simple.
in silence. You have meditated, and it will grow. Then you can add some music up under it if you want to. You know what I'm saying? And then, and then you can put some sounds of water behind it. You just learned how to meditate. Challenge yourself, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Keep it simple. Keep it simple. Just the intention to calm the mind is everything.
Yep.
Yeah, it's
So meditate. The Christians always say, meditate in prayer. And the weird thing is, as Christians, we never really got into the power of meditation. One is asking, one is receiving.
Yeah.
Real simple.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Right?
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Isn't that beautiful?
Yeah, that's very beautiful.
Oh, that's beautiful. All right, so listen, let's get into. So our challenge for this month is letting go, and we'll get into letting go. But in order to let go, one must what?
Forgive.
So you give your long drawn out explanation of what forgiveness is to you.
Forgiveness for me is making a very conscious decision to letting go of resentment and negative feelings that you have towards another person or a situation, in order to have peace, in order to be able to free yourself from any grip that that person or situation has on you, so you can walk your walk through life. That's what it is for me.
That's all you say?
What is it for you?
What she said. No, however, forgiveness is such a big thing. And it's not really about forgiving the other person or the situation. It's about forgiving yourself.
Yeah.
It's about forgiving yourself to react the way you did and as long as you have. It's about removing the power from the person or situation that is stopping you from living your best life and being your best you. So in order to forgive, it starts with you. Yeah. And once you forgive yourself, whether you technically forgive that person or the situation or not, it's done. It's already done. And here's the real trick, Dad. While we're so busy debating whether we're going to forgive the other person or not, they ain't thinking about you.
No.
It's gone. It's over. They don't even remember what it was, and we are so busy harboring it. For me, my parents, my mother specifically, used to always say, how could you let them back in your life? Don't you remember when they such and such and such? I really don't, because I have more sort of forgiven it, and forgiving is the end result, but I let it go.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, yes, don't be irresponsible and make the same mistake twice, but you gotta forgive. You can't be the best you if you hold on to stuff, and it's really important. That person or that situation, the situation has gone on.
Yeah.
You know, once the situation is going on, it is definitely going on. But in terms of the individual, they're not harboring any guilt. They don't give a flying crap, and it's over. So you got to learn how to forgive.
Yeah.
You got to learn how to forgive.
Well, as I said last time, one of my favorite quotes is, forgiveness sets the prisoner free. The prisoner is you. Because at the end of the day, the person who's done the hurt, sometimes people don't do it on purpose, sometimes people do. But we always have the choice and the decision every single minute we're alive to react or respond. And reacting is to get angry about it, hold grudges about it, feel vindictive about it, let it take away from our peace. And the thing is, when you're trying to manifest and you're trying to create the best life and you're holding a grudge towards someone, that's not a high vibration.
That's a whole other show. Yeah, vibration.
But you need to declutter your mind and your heart in order to be able to achieve what you want to achieve. And when your heart is full of all that feeling, you're not having the space for what it is that you want to come in, because you're coming from a negative place. When you want something to come to you and your life and for your health to be good and to sleep well and to feel good when you wake up, you cannot harbor grudges and carry that with you.
Well, in layman's terms, I'm going to take it to the street. In layman's terms, the person who has pissed you off and made you angry, you got to let go of that, because the person that has pissed you off is holding you from succeeding. That's that very same person that has made you angry is stopping you from succeeding, from having a good life. Everything you acquire to be, you're so busy holding a grudge, it's blocking the energy for you to move forward.
Take that to a whole other level. From being a healer, as long as I've been in hospitals, I've been doing healing on people that are dying, and when I've done the healing on them, I've always been brought back by spirit and shown a specific situation where the heart was broken, they never got over it, or there was somebody in their family did something and they held a grudge, and they carried that, and that negative energy manifested in their body, and it destroyed their health, it destroyed their life. So I always say to my clients, do you want to be one of those people in 10 or 20 years dying a very ugly death because you carried this? Are they worth that?
Well, what we do know medically is that hypertension, yes, and high blood pressure definitely can be attributed to salt and sodium and things of that nature. But the majority of things from dementia to cancer are emotionally related.
Exactly.
When people have strokes and heart attacks and a fit of rage, that's emotion.
Exactly.
You gotta let go.
Yeah.
You gotta let go. It's so important to let go and stop giving situations power.
Yeah.
I come from a place of ego up in this. You know what I'm saying? I'm not giving you no damn power. You're not worth that.
Yeah.
Exactly. You and all this mess is beneath me reaching what I need to do.
Exactly.
I got bags to get.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
You know what bags mean?
No.
So white. Bags is the money, girl.
Oh,
You gotta get
okay.
the money, the bag. You gotta secure the bag, baby. So look, so now we talked about forgiveness. So why don't we encourage people and give them a way to go about letting go?
Yeah.
Let's start with journals and okay.
Well, one of the first things that I have used personally, and I've suggested to other people who find it difficult to forgive someone, because especially when you're living with that person and it's family and they're doing the same thing over and over again, it can be difficult to forgive someone when they're going to keep repeating that behavior. One of the great things that I find is writing a letter to them first. Journaling what you want to say to that person, writing the forgiveness down first. and then eventually, if you can go and speak to that person, the journaling actually helps. So that's one really good way.
Yeah, that's a great way if people can get to that. But sometimes things do happen in people's own times. So it has to, in my brain, it has to begin with self. So it's the self-forgiveness and it's the letting go of oneself. So even if, and this is, we're not speaking about situation, we're speaking about what should be done. So journaling is one thing.
Mm-hmm.
And, did you hear that?
Yeah, I heard
Oh,
that.
excuse me. Journaling is one thing. My suggestion is to daily think about situations that you don't feel good about, that don't make you feel good, whether they be situations or people. Write them down and let them go. You can write them down, put them in a bowl and burn them, and let them go. Even if you don't speak to the person again, it's not important that they know that you let it go, because they don't matter no more.
No.
If they matter, then have a conversation. If they don't matter, that's cool, but relinquish it for yourself. Make a concerted effort to get rid of it for yourself. Yeah. So as this is our second week.
Yeah.
So we have 2 more weeks, and then we would love for you guys to go to spiritualsessionslive@gmail.com. spiritualsessionslive@gmail.com. And just, you don't have to be specific, but just give us some feedback of what you've done to let go. You know, keep us in your loop so we know that we are connecting. You know what I mean?
Or you could even put it on Spiritual Sessions Live, the group, the Facebook group, because sometimes when somebody opens a dialogue and they're sharing something, other people then...
Well, now you said the Spiritual Lives Facebook group, what?
Spiritual Sessions with Debbie Facebook group.
Oh, that's not Spiritual Sessions Live.
Oh, sorry.
So,
Take
right.
the live out.
Which means take me out. Listen, y'all can go on Spiritual Sessions with Debbie Creagh. Go to her group, and she also has a page. But to talk to me, go to Spiritual Sessions Live. My producer said Charlotte. Yep. Hi, Charlotte. Charlotte is someone that I love very, very much in Los Angeles, and she says she really needs this in terms of forgiveness.
Okay.
Charlotte, let me say this to you, because I know you, and I know from your post and the people in your life who are not supportive. Here's the deal, and I'll say this to you publicly. You give all those individuals way too much power. You give them way too much power, way too much energy. You're way too successful. You're way too grounded to even give them power. And when you give them power, you are therefore giving them energy, right? So you just continue to do what you do. Look as fabulous as you do in your Gucci and your Chanel and your Balenciaga. No, this chick is like the real deal. But give them no energy. You just went through this situation with the death and the people cutting up with the family. What you do is you get up, you get in your fabulous sports car, and you drive off, and you say, namaste. You give them no power. So over the next 30 days, Charlotte, what I would love for you to do is write down those individuals, write down their names, and just let it go. Just say you forgive them. Because here's the deal. They don't know any better, sweetheart, but you do. You know better. That's why you're a successful nurse, you got a great husband, and you live fabulously. You can't mix oil and vinegar. It all might taste good on a salad, but it don't mix. Got that? So you let the oil be on over there, and you do what you do. All right? I love you. So yeah, right, man.
Yeah.
Anybody else that we should hi? Tiffany says hi. Hi, Tiffany. Anything else before we go?
One of the things that we talked about last week is what is spirituality and how to live a good spiritual life.
Okay.
So just some of the benefits, because both of us have talked about the power of forgiveness and how it set us free in our lives through some really hard shit that we've been through, and you're able to really leave that behind. Otherwise you're carrying the past with you and you never really rid yourself of it. And I can look back to quite traumatic things that have happened to me, and I can talk about it to clients, and it really doesn't affect me. It's just a story I'm sharing because I really have gone through it. There are so many lessons to be learned from a situation that happens to you, or wrong is done to you. You can learn so much about yourself. You can have, you can learn to develop conflict management
Mhm.
by learning to forgive daily and look at situations from a new perspective. It can start off being a little bit difficult and challenging, but the more you practice it actually, and the more you see the benefits of it, easier it will start to become. Really
Yeah,
fun.
and the way I look at that is this: once you become secure in your walk,
Mhm.
right? Your walk to live at a high vibration,
Mhm.
right? When things come your way, it's not about you. That's why we got to do our show about mind your business.
Yeah.
It's not about you.
No.
It is about everything that the world will do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Most people are at low vibrations, so that when they see you in a nice car, they see you happy, and they don't know how to properly attain that or be a part of that. They resist it and they resent it, so they rebut it. So you can't react to their low vibration.
Exactly.
So it's almost you have to have a humble arrogance, if you will.
I
Right?
like that one.
You have to have a humble arrogance to be arrogant enough within your walk to not be affected because you know that it's not about you.
Mm-mm.
You see what I'm saying?
You just get what you need to about yourself.
And I told you about the gentleman that I talked about on Facebook last week that I didn't know anything about until I read his tagline, and he says daily he's working to live in a more spiritual consciousness. That was big because because a lot of people don't want to say that they're spiritual or they overdo and say I'm spiritual. It does start with the consciousness.
Yeah.
It starts with a mental, conscious effort to be spiritual.
Yeah.
And being spiritual doesn't mean being organized religion or your crystals. No, your spirituality is the way you live your life.
Yeah.
Yes. Nikki.
Hi, Rita and Nicholas. Woo!
Well, here's my situation. That's my Nicholas too.
Yes, it's her Nicholas.
So what the hell am I, Nicholas Chocolate River? You only saying hi to Debbie? That really? And I'm going to Ritu?
No, Rita's in Sweden.
All right. Well, hi Ritu, but Nicholas. Okay, so Debbie's the only one that you know now, huh? Okay, when I name the singer next time, I'm gonna call somebody else. All right.
I can hear him laughing.
Ritu is in Norway.
Ritu is in Norway. She is. Yes.
Hi, Ritu.
Oh, sorry, not in Sweden, Norway. Really? Oh yeah.
But your spirit didn't tell you that.
It's been a long week.
Yes, it has. It's been a wonderful week.
It's been a
Let
fabulous.
me say to you personally and publicly, thank you so much for you taking out the time to acknowledge my birthday on a couple days and making my first year here in Bangkok and my first birthday here in Bangkok absolutely a wonderful one. It's one that I will never ever forget. Thanks for being my bestie.
Oh, baby.
Yeah. Oh look, my cousin Tony Jackson. Hi cousin, I love you too. Now you remember, I know we're going. This is not spirituality, but it kind of is because when you love your family the way you do, that's spiritual based. So my cousin Tony is the one who raised my closet, and I showed you the mosquito suit with the bricks that he had on that day.
All right,
And
hi
I said,
Tony.
and I said I wanted it back. So listen, hey Alton, what's up, man? How are you? So listen, so guys, so again, spiritual sessions again is about your walk spiritually, it's not knocking anyone's belief system, their religion, whatever works for you, do it. You, like I said earlier, I'm not into the Virgin Mary. I don't believe she's a virgin. Let's talk about that. But anyway, however, if Virgin Mary and Catholicism is your thing, then you bow down, you do your thing, whatever works. As long as while we're on this earth, we live in peace, we live in harmony, we get along, we try to help each other. Because faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. That means nobody knows. So go forward and live your best life, right?
Absolutely.
And then we want to remind everybody about the challenge, the Let It Go.
Yeah, just keep letting go, guys. Whatever comes to you, remember everything, the challenge that comes your way is a learning curve for you. And the more you see it from that perspective, the more you can grow and leave the rest behind. And that's what we're here for, isn't it?
Yes, but so specifically, the challenge for the next 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, it's letting go.
Is letting it go, journaling.
And please, 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 the first person, as you said, the first person you need to forgive is always yourself. Because if you cannot forgive yourself for something, you cannot genuinely forgive another person. Everything starts with you. Everything. Even if someone has done something to you, generally we will have attracted that experience into our lives to teach us something. So you have to look at your life and to say, what kind of thought processes was I thinking when that situation happened to me? How did I attract this particular challenge my way?
Listen, in Black church, we had a song, "There's a bright side somewhere." There's a bright side somewhere. I'm not singing that one. No, I said that to say, in every instance in life, don't take it personal.
Yeah.
But there's a bright side, even though you can't see it. So don't spend time being angry, unless it is death in your family and it's sorrowful and it's sad. I understand that. But the anger is not worth the heart attack. Mm-mm. The stress is not worth the migraine. Mm-mm. The stress is not worth the lower back pain. Let it go. So for the next 30 days, 3 weeks, it's 30 days.
3 more weeks.
So we're doing spiritual challenges every 30 days. So this month's spiritual challenge is letting go. So what you're going to do is write down every day situations or people that you forgive in addition to yourself and let it go. So hit me up, or both of us, on spiritualsessionslive@gmail.com. Mm-hmm. And just give me your thoughts. Let us know that you're in the loop. Maybe some topics you think we should address, or maybe you need some advice on something. Debbie can be reached for your if anybody wants some healing or some all that other voodoo stuff you do, whatever that crap you do.
You can reach me at debbieCreagh80@gmail.com, or you can inbox me on Facebook.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
One of the things I just wanted to say that came to me as well is that don't forget sometimes forgiveness is a process. So something I would like to share is that I spent years and years healing something in my past, and for me, I felt it was healed, and I've been doing great in my life, really letting that go. But a situation kind of happened a couple of months ago that triggered me. It triggered something in me, and I thought, wow, that was such a long time ago. Why is that bothering me? And I realized there was still a layer. Sometimes there can be layers to things, and there was still a layer of something there. And I really realized it was none of my business, that was the other person that was living in the past and seeing things from perspective that is like going back in a time machine. They're still talking the same way they've always talked. It's like they never moved from here to here. And it actually, first of all, it upset me a little bit, and then I looked and I thought, wow, that's beautiful, because I can see how much I've been able to move forward and leave that behind. And that's all it really was really a yardstick for me to see how much I left that behind and move forward. It's none of my business if that person did it wrong.
That's another show. In my book, Getting Back to My Me, there's a chapter called Stay in Your Lane, which is all about minding your business.
Yeah.
So we're running out of time. So I want to say hi to Tori Rogers, Corey Isaiah. Hey, Corey. And my Pat. Hi, Pat. Patricia Sanders Dixon. Hi, Pat. No, Pat, Elaine, Glenn. We all grew up in church together. Remember I told you I was in?
Yeah.
So those are my church girls and my family. I love you guys so much. And Ashley. Hi, Ashley. That's your friend?
I think so. You know Ashley
Williams? Well, I know. Well, how you know Ashley Williams?
No, I know him a long time, 10 years.
That's a dude?
It's a dude.
Oh, I'm gonna
Ashley Williams.
What's up, Ashley? So, listen. It's time for us to go. Thank you so much. We'll be here next Sunday.
Yep.
Same time, 8:30. And, 8:30. And we've had an amazing, amazing time. Don't forget to journal your letting go. So, I'm going to leave you with this. Your day is designed in perfection. Anything that goes against that perfection is a trap. Don't fall for it.